but also some fun stuff. Can you give us kind of an update on, I kid you not, he has been buried in this computer looking at all kinds of things. So update us on what you're seeing over the next several hours and then overnight. It is kind of, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we're probably going to continue to deal with areas that are 30 degrees and the ice is just not going to let up. But we're also going to see, I think, an increasing number of areas get up to that 32, 33. All of a sudden being 33 instead of 31 or 34 instead of 32 is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Because we haven't generally had enough snow in the heart of Portland or the overpasses that we've been dealing with. It's been the ice that's the issue. And certainly it's warmer, generally speaking, down around Salem than it is up here in Portland. We still have east winds blowing out in the Columbia River Gorge into East Multnomah County. We realize that locks the temperature. So if there are icy spots that you're weary of in East Multnomah County, that's probably the lesser chances over there of seeing some of this ice break up and making driving a little bit easier during the day. You're looking at radar right now, and the only thing we've really had over the past several hours has been over on the west side, and in particular this big area that's slowly pushing actually back up to the north. So Hillsborough, you're right on the edge of it. Forest Grove, you're right in the middle of it, and then you get into some of our banks and some of our Coast Range communities where that snow is picking up as well. Here's another shot of that. Just some flurries now down in the McMinnville area. And again, keep in mind as you look at live cameras with us here on KGW today or online or wherever you are, especially, I'm assuming these main highways have had a de-icing put down, and that makes it look, in some cases, like an icy glaze, where in reality, maybe it's not bad. You can see cars generally are doing okay on the I-5 in downtown Portland. And there's that temperature out at the airport along the Columbia River just above 33 degrees. We don't expect Cascade Passes to be unsnow covered anytime this entire week. That's Government Camp. It's 21 degrees up there. It's really cold. The roads have been very well plowed up over Mount Hood continually by the ODOT crews, but it's so cold that snow's not going to get off the road. And we do want to make you realize whenever this is the case, this is I-84 out through Cascade Locks in the Gorge. Absolutely as snow covered as the Cascade Passes are. The forecast for Hood River, remember, was 6 to 8 inches and maybe closer to a foot up through Parkdale. Looks like that has come true. And also looks like we've probably had 6, 7, 8 inches up in the upper elevations of the Coast Range. So here are some cars driving on this camera where the temperature is, what, 28, 29 degrees at the Sunset Rest area. So that's almost up to the summit, just above 1,400 feet. But obviously you wouldn't want to drive over the Coast Range passes of the Wilson River Highway or Highway 26, the two highest elevations, unless you really had to, because those are just incredibly snow covered and buried under snow as well. And if you're tuning in to maybe get an update on the forecast, again, the storm warning expires at 7 p.m. There could still be a dusting to an inch in some spots overnight, but I think we wake up tomorrow morning with temperatures near 20, some breaks in the cloud cover, it's quiet. But then tomorrow afternoon, mid-afternoon, we start to see some light snow push in. That picks up with the potential of some light accumulations. And then the air mass shows signs of warming up, maybe not at ground level, but above ground level tomorrow evening. So that would lead to our first potential of maybe some sleet or freezing rain if ground temperatures are below freezing tomorrow evening. And, you know, again, it's a couple degree call, so we may not have much confidence on that until we get into the actual moment. And that's tomorrow evening.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
So many issues on the roadways this morning. Where do you start?
Chris McGinnis. Stay home if you live on the east side.
Maybe that's a good place to start.
Yeah, I think that's the probably what we've seen so far this morning is that the east side of Vancouver and the east side of Portland have been ground zero for the worst of the driving conditions. Let's take some of our ODOT cameras right now. We can get to the traffic map and show you the big trouble spot. Right, can we get to the traffic wall?
I know we have Sky 8 up. They mentioned that it's 205 northbound over that cattle truck accident.
Yeah, that's I guess the big deal right now on the freeways is that one. So that's our picture from the Prescott overpass, and that's the 205 north situation. You can see that is that, you know, a little bit of a breeze bumping that camera around too, Rod. Maybe east wind kind of helping to lock in those temperatures, as you mentioned. So that's the I-205 situation right now. And you can see some icy conditions, a semi there involved. In fact, I think this is actually, I'm going to say that's southbound 205 traffic. So the northbound situation is actually in view on Sky 8. I'm not sure if we can go to that. But this is going to be southbound I-205. So that's going to be the Sandy Boulevard on-ramp to southbound 205. Let's go back up to Sky 8 if we can and show you what that looks like, because this has been kind of a harrowing situation for drivers and those cattle trucks stuck on the side of the road just north of the I-84 interchange. Couple of cars still tangled up there. You see a little bit of bare pavement maybe on the right-hand lane, but the left and center lane kind of slushy and messy, and that's been pretty much the status here across the freeway system on the east side. Highly variable conditions this morning, guys. West side commute not looking all that bad. The east side commute kind of packed in hard snow and ice, and snow reports varying from anywhere from a dusting in and around downtown to 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of snow in southeast Portland. So highly variable freeway conditions, and still messy and slick on the east side, guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you, Chris. We also want to thank you guys. I mean, we cannot say enough how much we love you sending in pictures and videos.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a great staff, but we can't be everywhere. And so we really rely on you guys to send us little snapshots of your world. Vanessa, I know you've kind of been riding herd over all that, and you have some more for us.
Oh, yeah. And I actually want to showcase one that I posted
Whoa, here we go.
this morning. And I have to say, I woke up a little early, like at 2 a.m. And I was terrified to drive. I'm not kidding. I was getting a little, you know, I was terrified. But I have to give a shout out to my Subaru, who got me safe.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your fiance.
Here. No, he was in bed and did not get up, did not say,
Dude, Sean.
Yeah,
No, wait a minute. I like this guy. I'm going to stand up for him.
Yeah, but I got here safe, and that's really all that matters. As we move on really quickly to a few other viewer photos. This one is from Melissa out in Washougal. Beautiful, beautiful shot there. And even with the sun rising in the background, just a gorgeous shot. And Wayne out in Carson, Washington, 5.5 inches. That's about how much I got, Wayne. So I know what you woke up to this morning, definitely. And moving on, last but not least, we have Jeremy out in Amboy, Washington, 9 inches of snow. And he said, here comes the sun. So just an overall great opportunity for, even if you're not a photographer, to just get out there and take photos. Such a good photo op that a lot of folks are waking up to, especially if they're over on the east side. On the west side, not very sure. I know a lot of people are taking photos of dry conditions, but I believe, yeah, just keep on sending them in, and all you have to do is post them either on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and just use IamUpPDX or the hashtag KGW weather or another hashtag KGW news, and we will definitely get them here on air for you.
Hashtag city, basically, on Sunrise this morning.
Snow, and I mean, even hashtag snow, well, no.
Hashtag for all I care.
There you go.
All right, let's send it out to Keely Chalmers. Keely Chalmers this morning. She's actually watching one of the more serious pileups that we're seeing, and it kind of happened like the last hour and a half or so. This is on I-205 northbound, just north of I-84. Keely, how's it going? What are you seeing?
Well, we've actually we're actually seeing a little bit of progress being made here. Again, this is I-205 northbound, just north of I-84 interchange, and we have, as you can see, in this situation there. But there's that truck. We were talking about that truck all morning long. Check it out. There it is. It is actually moving finally. It was stuck in the snowbank along the side of the highway behind that other red car. There was another semi-truck before that, and then there was several cars behind that. But as you can see, there it goes. And this is actually livestock in here, we're told. Oh, look there. You can see a little cow's nose point. Oh, they're there. They're like, finally, thank goodness, these cattle are able to go. They were stuck there for, as you mentioned, over an hour. Finally, that semi-truck free. You can still see looks like a red SUV stuck in the snowbank alongside of the highway. There's another semi-truck behind it. It is looking like, is it moving? It is slowly but surely moving as well. It looks like a kind driver behind him is letting him in as well. So this situation finally starting to come to a conclusion, although we do still have that red SUV there as well. And again, it looks like this also a livestock truck able to finally move, heading northbound here on I-205. So you can see the road conditions here. Slushy, snowy, but they've been graveled. So I think cars able to get a little bit of, some decent traction on this. It's not like sheer ice. You can see now those crews out there, I take it now, working on to get that red SUV unstuck from that snowbank. So things starting to get back to normal. However, I do want to point out, we drove here just about half an hour ago from Vancouver. We took the Glen Jackson Bridge, and that was still, didn't look like this. Didn't look like it was gravel and kind of the mushy stuff. It was snow-packed. It was slick. We saw one semi-truck that was kind of going up and over, but it couldn't make it. I mean, it was sliding, so a tow truck came in to try to get that driver out of that situation. So again, certain areas, we've been talking about this all morning, obviously worse than others, but up in Vancouver, I can tell you, even though we didn't see any problems necessarily other than some spinning wheels, those roads are pretty snow-packed, pretty slick, and pretty icy at this point. For now, we'll send it back to you guys.
Oh man, Keely, I feel like I'm so emotionally invested because and I just want to make sure I'm right. Keely, wasn't that the driver that we saw digging himself out with a shovel at one point?
I think so, Maggie. We came up just about 5 minutes before we went live, and it looked like it was the driver. I didn't know. I hadn't been here the whole time. You guys were probably looking at it from Sky 8, so you might know better than I did. But yeah, those guys were out there digging out from the snowbank. They were also putting down like dirt or gravel underneath the tires, and I mean, it paid off. It's actually also, I think, thawing out a little bit. I mean, the temperature, I believe, is warming up a little bit, so that might have helped the situation. But yeah, I'm sure that was a huge relief. And I'll tell you what, I'm so grateful that they were able to get out. I mean, I saw those little, the cattle noses sticking out. I don't know if they're cows or steers or whatnot, but sticking out from the back of the semi. So it was kind of exciting to see those guys get free once again. But again, still, that being said, slick conditions. The drivers are going slow. We went on our way from Vancouver to here, I think top speed about 25 miles an hour. And then once we got into the side streets here in the neighborhoods, we were going 15 miles per hour. So yeah, the side streets, neighborhood streets, still snow-packed. Things looking a little bit better on the interstate, but you can see for yourself. I mean, it is still snowy out here. It's still slushy. It's just kind of gravelly, and that's helping drivers get a little bit more grip. But again, we're talking about more snow in the forecast,
Sure.
more freezing temperatures in the forecast, possibly freezing rain. So folks getting a good drill today on how to drive safely.
Okay, Keely, thank you
Back
so
to you.
much. Keely's a meteorologist.
Yeah.
Rod Hill's here in studio. He's a meteorologist.
Yeah.
Is she correct about the temperature? Is it warming up a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm looking at the observations. So out along the Columbia River, Portland 33, Hillsborough 32, Aurora 32, McMinnville 33. So we're all kind of, more and more of us are now getting into that 32, 33 spot where we were more like 30, 31, and so that's a big deal. And Salem now holding at 35, Corvallis up to 38 degrees. How do you do? And we are still watching those east winds. Right now, Troutdale east at 18, gusting to 25. They have a temperature of 33. It's still snowing and accumulating snow out in the gorge. Remember I showed you how bad the I-84 looked, but that was 25 and 26 degrees. Okay, what are we looking at here?
Okay, I just want to call everybody's attention to this shot. This has been one of the biggest trouble spots. This is I-5 southbound, right before you get on I-84 east, heading out of town.
Crazy story this morning.
Yeah.
Logistically, this has just been a nightmare for the people trying to get this fuel truck.
There's no
out of
room.
here.
It hurts my brain,
Right?
Brenda. It actually hurts my brain. Like what we're looking at right now is this tow truck that's backing up to the back end of that Love's fuel truck, which at one point, we're not entirely sure how this collision happened. We got word after it had happened, but we know that the Love's fuel truck basically has been pinning this maroon, either SUV or pickup truck up against the side of the overpass.
I mean, we're going to assume for a second that, that the truck basically, there's a little bit of a slant there, probably started sliding sideways on that ramp with that other truck beside him, and that became a problem. And Brenda, you mentioned what a mess logistically. reality. Well, we've all been on that on-ramp. There's not much room. It's pretty narrow, right?
Right.
So think if you were the one in charge of navigating a tow truck to get something out of there. It's not easy.
Okay, so this is what I want to ask you guys streaming us right now. I am so curious about the backstory.
Right.
So come on, somebody in our audience has got to know who is driving the Love's truck. And the dude who got rescued out of that
That's where my
SUV or that
curiosity is
truck,
peaking.
if you know who they are, give us a heads up. Our people back in the newsroom really would love to give them a call, maybe talk to them, see if they're even willing.
Right.
Yeah.
Tweet us, Facebook us.
You bet. DM us. We will get on
news
it.
at kgw.com.
And you know
Super
what? If they
email,
don't want to
super
talk,
easy.
of course, we will respect their privacy. But I'd love to know what happened.
And Brenda, I don't even remember. So the person that was trapped, did we see that person walk away and they were fine
Yes,
as far as we know?
we actually have
That's
that
true.
video. If our
Okay, all
booth
right.
crew can get that as well, that would be great to show again. I could not get enough of that because it was such a happy ending.
Oh my goodness. Well, those 3 firefighters got up there. And up until the point where we saw him, it was a man who was behind the wheel of the maroon truck crawling out. We didn't know if that person was okay. We didn't know how many people were inside that truck. And when he started crawling out, we're like, okay, at least physically, you know, he can do that on his own. He's relatively okay. And then he got out and they're shaking hands and they're hugging and we're seeing smiles. And it was just like,
Oh, wow.
yes, big sigh of
That's
relief
a
this
commercial
morning.
campaign for America. Let's be kind to each other. I like that, right? We need that.
There are some heroes out there with Portland Fire and Rescue.
100%.
Chris, you know, the other thing that was interesting to see with this particular picture is that early on there was such a backup of maybe 15 cars that could not go forward or backward because of this. So they got off, and now it's just a matter of actually getting the truck
really
off
quick,
that.
We've been talking about it. Here's the video of that rescue. So once again, huge shout out, huge, to Portland Fire and Rescue. You can see the firefighter here on the ledge with the navy blue, and the other firefighter in the full gear behind him. And you can see the hands of the driver. He's basically getting out, kind of readying himself, and there he goes. We were holding our breath, our collective breath, when this was happening earlier this morning.
And you know, it's so lucky that there was not a passenger in here because, you know, he was farther enough away from the impact point. But kudos to Portland Fire. Glad that guy's okay. And again, take a look. If you know this man, I would love to track him down and just hear how the heck he's doing now. He may not want the spotlight, but like you said, we're so invested after seeing hours and hours of coverage.
Yeah. If that's your friend or your family member, just, you know, reach out to him, see if he's at all interested. Because I think a lot of people, it's not just us, a lot of people would really like to hear from him and see how he's doing.
So Chris, what else do you know about the roads, and what other trouble spots do you have your eye on today?
Well, from the live video that we had from Sky 8, it sure looks like I-5 is doing a lot better beneath that overpass right now than it was when I came in, you know, 3-4 hours ago. I mean, it was very, very slick. I want to take you out into the Coast Range because we do have some trouble out there. Not only, of course, are the coastal passes snow covered, but I was just getting word from ODOT that they've got some down power lines now east of Jules. So Highway 202, the road that takes it from Jewel to Mist and then eastward, that's closed right now. We've had some very heavy snow reports out there. Let's just give you a quick look at the Coast Range. If you're thinking about driving to the beach or from the beach, that is what your drive looks like. I mean, that looks like about the worst snowstorm up in the Cascades and Highway 20. I can't even see the road there at this point. That's, of course, up at about 1,400 feet. Some of the other roads that are a little bit better shape, 32 degrees right now, U.S. Highway 30 at the Rainier Summit, obviously just west of the Rainier area between Rainier and Clatskanie. That actually looks better right now than it has all morning, but obviously still some pretty good snow on the side roads. And Oregon 6, so the road that takes you down towards like Tillamook and the central Oregon coast, or let's call it the north central Oregon coast. Still some pretty good snow coverage there. I've got one more to show you as well. This is Dudley Hill. So this is the drive between Corvallis and Newport. 32 degrees and snowflakes falling there. And yeah, still some snow coverage on the side of the road. So that's kind of a little farther out into the Coast Range. To Rod's point about, you know, the central and southern Willamette Valley, check this out. It's 39 degrees on this ODOT camera down near the Highway 34 junction between Corvallis and Lebanon. Of course, that road goes between Corvallis and Lebanon. There's I-5. And folks down in that part of the region are saying, snow what, right? So there you go. It's just really exemplifying the varied conditions that we're seeing across the area. I want to get back to that live ODOT camera real quick. We were kind of focused in on I-205 southbound near Sandy Boulevard. So this is the Prescott overpass. Sandy is just kind of right under the orange banner. There's the on-ramp from Sandy Boulevard or Killingsworth. And you can see traffic seems to be moving a little bit better there, but boy, it still looks a little slick on that side of town. And this has been some of the worst stretch of freeway across the entire metro area. The Banfield out towards I-205, and you can see that even here we're still dealing with some not very good conditions. So that's kind of the latest from the traffic department for now, guys.
All right, Chris, hey, thank you so much. And, you know, our viewers, once again, I'm just calling them MVPs of the morning because they've really been tipping us off to so much, in addition to sending really cute content and videos, which we love too.
And not only that, they send descriptions and where they're located and how many inches have been falling. You know, they're kind of doing Rod's job.
Oh.
Okay,
Shots
somebody
fired.
had to do it.
Shots
All
fired.
Yeah, but it really brings us
And we're
together as a community, as everyone keeps, you know, sending in those photos. So we really appreciate it. And we want to start off with a video. And this is actually at Beverly Beach. And this is just north of the Newport area. This one is from, I want to say your handle is Newport Games? No, I don't think it says Games. I think it says Gomes or something. But moving on, let's go to another photo. This is out in Mount Tabor. This is from Gladys Melton, and it is, you are correct, it is really lovely from there, at least your view. And we got James. He is taking a ride, advantage of this snow. This is out in Sky Ranch Mountain, out in the North Plains area. Thank you so much for this photo. And I believe we have one more, last but not least, cute photo. These are my favorite ones with the kids, with the pets. My absolute favorite. This is in South Salem. A father and son enjoying the snow and just walking along the sidewalks. And it says that his son was actually helping him shovel the snow.
I love it.
wow.
Train them early. Train them early.
That's really cute.
All right. So where can people get a hold of us? You want to leave us with that little tidbit?
So whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all you have to do is use the hashtags, and we have a few that you can use. So KGW News, I Am Up PDX, or KGW Weather, I believe.
Excellent.
Anything you want that involves KGW, we will probably get a hold of it.
Try a new one.
Yeah,
we may invent one today.
Yeah.
And we want to say a big thank you and a big shout out if you're watching us on YouTube. I know hundreds of you are right now.
on YouTube?
Yes, we are. As a matter of fact, people are texting me back in the newsroom talking about all the different ways that people are watching your weather coverage.
I'm on YouTube.
You are a YouTube star.
That's
You're
so
an
cool.
Bound to
influencer.
happen eventually. So.
Wow. All right. Hey, I just finished my forecast. This is my forecast sheet. So I'm going to get to the weather wall, but let me just verbally take 20 seconds to tell you what the new forecast is. So today we're going to hold fairly steady, low to mid 30s. The winter storm warning expires at 7. We may see a dusting of snow spots overnight tonight, but we wake up tomorrow morning, it's pretty quiet, 22. Tomorrow high, 32. We get some light snow developing tomorrow afternoon. There's that chance that it could be freezing rain if we don't get above freezing tomorrow evening. Now Monday, I think it's mainly rain during the day. I think odds favor at least downtown Portland staying rain Monday overnight, but then Tuesday during the day we get back into kind of a mix depending on where you are. Wednesday mainly dry, Thursday morning mainly dry, Thursday afternoon is rain into the night, and then Friday we get back into what could be a mix. But at least for the bulk of our area, there's no big, massive accumulating snowstorm there.
Okay.
It's mostly like about the time something bad could happen, we start to warm up a little bit. So that's good. Brenda, what are we looking at here? Sky 8, take it away.
I just went back to the Sky 8 picture. We're trying to, you know, follow the cleanup as best we can. This is, again, I-5 southbound before you flip over to the interchange and head east on I-84. It has been slow going. There's a tow truck on scene, but we really don't have an update other than that. We're just watching it in real time. And this has been going on how long now, Maggie, would you guesstimate?
Oh my goodness, I think, well, you know what, Pat Doris texted me and said, hey, we got the first call about this at about 6:25.
Okay.
So at this point, more than 4 hours, basically, you know, and for about half that time, the driver of, again, that maroon truck or SUV was pinned. And we've seen the rescue video and we've showed you kind of how that played out. And now this is where we are. We're kind of still have the cleanup ongoing. That tow truck has been there for a little while. And it's still a precarious situation out there from what we can tell.
Okay, Rod, sorry to interrupt you with that picture, but continue. We need to hear what you have to say.
All right, so let's take a look at our storm. And basically this week, for the most part, these are all lows that develop in cold air coming off the shore of Canada, and they kind of develop and get stronger as they come down. So here is ours right there. See it spinning right there? Now it will drop far enough to our south tonight that we think the main threat for any real accumulation will be ending. We think there will be some snow showers, though, as we get on the north end of the storm. And then it's pretty quiet offshore or farther out. The coast, we had some snow flurries in Newport at one point. We've got snow on the hill up at the Astoria Column. Pacific City, it's 40 degrees, just kind of a typical quiet rain showery day for you folks there. We've had the pictures for you in Beaverton where it was cancel everything, but we've had some snow out the U.S. Highway 26 during the day. Here was a viewer video from Yakult where they had 5 inches on the ground, and Jennifer sent us this beautiful picture from Ridgefield. These are all items that have been posted on my KGW Rod Hail Facebook page. So far, since we went on the air, the snow has primarily been on the west side of I-5, and this has been stationary. This is actually, remember I showed you the low offshore? This is rotating back toward that low offshore. So this is going north and then bending back to the west. So it's not coming into Beaverton, but it is making places like Banks, Vernonia, and other areas in proximity to the Sunset Highway. They're picking up some more accumulating snow. This is now pretty much out of Newburgh, McMinnville. You had a little bit of that snow, but that has now ended. Haven't had anything since the early morning hours in downtown Portland. We're now above freezing out along the Columbia River. Chris McGinnis showed you those pass cameras in the mountains, and there's I-84 really bad, and there's the Sunset Highway again really bad in the Coast Range. So as soon as I get done talking here, I am going to go back and update this 7-day graphic so we have the very latest numbers. But generally what we're looking at now is some more snow coming in tomorrow afternoon, and then that chance that we could have some sleet or freezing rain if the temperature is not above 32 Sunday evening. So we're watching that. You know, the forecast models show no big warm up through the 25th of the month, and there's only 28 days in the month. So I think it's safe to say we're starting to feel the pressure of running out of time for a February warm-up.
Hey, Rod.
I have given up hope on that.
Rod, we want to throw out, we have some, a lot of viewers right now on Facebook, and they're asking us some questions.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a couple
Yeah,
that we've
fire
gotten
away.
from some people? All right, you ready for this?
Is this personal?
No. Well, you know what? Hey, ask those
He'll
too.
answer those too.
So Lisa had a question. She wanted to know, is there more snow likely in East Clark County specifically?
East Clark County, so I mean now you're getting into the hills a little bit, and Battleground gets up into those hills. I want to say you're not in the hot button area because the best chance for even snow overnight tonight will be the farther south you go. And of course, East Clark County, you're kind of in the northern fringes of our viewing area. So clearly you could get another snow band hit you and get a dusting or an inch. I'm not going to say there's a 0% chance of that, but I think tonight you're one of the more quiet areas.
Okay. And then Cheryl was asking about if she wants to head out to Astoria via Highway 30. What's she in
So
for?
US 30, oh boy, ask me another one. We're going to come back to that.
Do you want a personal question?
No, I can look at a camera.
How's your love life?
Well, it's horrible right now because my beautiful wife is in Walla Walla with our daughter.
Okay, that got too real. That got too real. That got too
So
real.
I don't have any love life until they get back.
Cool.
Okay, you go look up that,
Yeah.
right? It's going to take you a second.
Yeah.
Great.
Let's send it out to Keely Chalmers.
Okay.
She is in the Maywood Park neighborhood. And look at you. You found some fun stuff, girl. Good morning
Cute.
again.
Look at this scene out here. I mean, this is beautiful. I feel like I'm in like a postcard right now. It is gorgeous. These folks taking advantage of all the snow. It's really interesting because we've been out here all morning long, and I keep hearing you say how in some areas there's no snow or there's not a lot of snow, and I'm like, what? What do you mean there's not a lot of snow? There's like inches and inches of snow out here. So yeah, a great day for some sledding. These folks, we got some youngsters, we got some young at heart out here sledding. It's quite an event out here. I think this is a kind of a popular hill when sledding, when we get snow. I'm gonna run across here really quick. These folks were nice enough to be able to talk to me. We got them live here. You are
Hudson.
Patrick, and
Miles.
Miles. Okay, you got Miles, Patrick, and Hudson here. And you guys live in this neighborhood?
Maywood Park.
Okay, all right. Were you surprised by this? Were you expecting this, or what? How did you guys prepare?
Well, I mean, I didn't think there was gonna be that much snow, but turns out there was like 3 inches. I thought it was gonna snow like maybe like an inch, but yeah, I'm just really happy because I mean, I love snow. It's just super fun to play in.
We sat up and waited as long as we could, and there was nothing.
Right.
To wake up to this is pretty awesome.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty deep. I could see. I mean, that looks like more than 3 inches right
yeah,
there.
it was a good 4 inches when we measured, and it's perfect snowball and sledding snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of sticky.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice and
Yeah.
light.
What do you think about it? How's your sledding? Have you learned any new tricks?
Not really.
Face first equals more speed.
Yep.
Face first equals more speed.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll let you go. Run up there. Come on. We got to show you. We're live here. We're on digital, but still, we got to see some sledding in action. It's beautiful. I have to say, not only is the snow beautiful out here on the ground, but it's beautiful up here. We got blue skies. We got a little bit of sunshine. We got folks out here enjoying the snow. See how these guys do. I hope I don't put too much pressure on them. Oh, there you go. Whoops, let me get out of the way. Oh, there we go. Okay. Round 2. Here we go. Woo! These guys get enough speed. Actually, they do wind up in the street. It's a good thing there's not a lot of traffic out here right now. Anyway, I think I've been out reporting for, I don't know, what, 3 hours now? I deserve a sled ride.
Oh, yes,
I'll be taking a short break.
Keely.
Oh no, I'm not doing it live. Oh yeah, no. We'll take a break. I will do it. I'll come back and report on my progress. And no, I don't know. I don't even know if they'll let me use their sled. I'm gonna
You
try.
are the one who made like viral video history up at Crown Point being blown over.
Yeah.
You're scared of a little sledding hill?
Right. So
That's fair.
no, I'll sled. You actually want me to go up there and sled down there?
Yes, I do.
I'll do it.
Come on.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube, by the way. This is huge.
Yeah. Rod's finally on YouTube.
YouTube.
Go, girl. I love Keels.
Wow. I like how
she
we really
goes.
we strong-armed her, and if she gets injured, we're all going to just be like, workers' call. That was
But now, how long is it going to take her to actually walk up to? She's got
have
to
all
walk
the
up the hill yet, right?
I feel like she's going to run.
Okay, now
Did
she's
she
going to
just
go
also
up the
take
hill.
a child's sled? Like, did we just witness Keely walk up to children and was like,
Okay,
"Give me your
we're on
toy"?
YouTube. Good
very
afternoon.
well
Good morning,
aware.
America. I'm Rod Hill.
know
You're
what
on
time
YouTube.
it is, do
This
you?
is Sledding
You're
America
loopy.
from the Great Pacific Northwest.
Man, we
We're
can't
watching
even see
Keely
her.
I hope she
Chalmers
goes on her stomach though, like the kids did.
with a
Ready?
saucer
Hey,
sled.
3,
Here she goes.
2. Nope.
She's thinking about
Come
it.
on, Keels.
Go, Keely.
You can do it. Oh, she's doing face
Second.
first.
running start?
She's doing face first.
She's doing. Yes. Her kids would be so proud.
So awkward.
So proud.
Yes.
Great.
Love that.
that one
And look,
bump.
she's going to come back to the mic.
It's that one bump that all those kids sailed over, and it's like, that's it.
Like,
She's going to give us a presser. All right, she's going to give us a little press conference here.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
it's like the
proud
Winter
that
Olympics.
I'm proud that I didn't fall on my face.
you did good.
I'm proud that I didn't land on my
great.
face. Snow, face first. So it's fun.
Take 5.
Keely.
Awesome.
Anyway,
Keely, your kids would be so proud
on that
right now.
note,
That's awesome.
She's so
She's winded from sledding.
Take a break. Take a break.
Yeah. Stand down. Take 5. Everybody.
Keely, thanks so much.
Brilliant.
That was cool.
stand down.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Hey, Rodney, you have an
Yes.
answer to my Highway 30 to Astoria question.
Yes, so
Fire
I'm
away.
looking at US 30 at Bradley Wayside. It's 31 degrees. It looks like de-icer on the highway, but it's not snow covered at all. It doesn't look that bad. We've been showing you the Wilson River Highway and also the Sunset 26 are really snow covered over the Coast Range. But you know, Oregon 18, Murphy Hill down in Central Oregon, that doesn't look bad. It's actually just above 32 degrees. Highway 18 doesn't look bad. So it's primarily, it looks like you want to avoid the Wilson River Highway and US 26 going over the Coast Range in general, which do look to be like you're up in the middle of the Cascade somewhere.
Okay, cool. Well, that was Cheryl's question.
Yes,
from the
thank you for
live
your question.
stream.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
All right, girl, what do you have? You've got some more viewer videos and pictures?
Yep, they just keep on coming in, and we appreciate them, and we will show them, continue showing them. And
cute.
first, I just love it. Any kid in snow gear is always just given for such a cute photo here. This is 5 inches of new snow. out in Maupin. Thank you so much for submitting this. And we have, this one is my favorite. I personally chose this one. A snow party from Will. Look at that. Snow day, dogs of snow day. I love it. I actually cannot wait to take my dog out in the snow once I get home. And Kristen, are you hanging out with Keely out there? Look at that. She is out enjoying the snow with her sled. This is out in southeast Portland. Thank you so much for submitting this one. And I believe we have one more to show off. And this just kind of shows how deep the snow is out in North Bonneville, Washington. Over a foot. I thought I had a lot of snow as I got out the door this morning, but that is nothing, or I had nothing in comparison to this guy here.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, everyone, for submitting those photos. Once again, we are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All you have to do is
YouTube.
That's what we're streaming on.
Oh, we're streaming on YouTube. Sorry, I'm just excited about the whole YouTube
Very
thing.
big on YouTube, Rod.
The old people are going to stand on this side. We're just going to let the young people
We're on
deal with it.
YouTube.
This got thoroughly awkward.
So my TGW, folks, is what you want to use when you submit those photos, either on, once again, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, maybe YouTube. I
You
have to
watch
look
them
into
on
that.
YouTube, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you know what Instagram is?
Good Lord.
Do you have an Instagram?
Rod doesn't have an
doesn't.
Instagram page.
Oh, boo.
Don't you think that he should have an Instagram? I have been trying for months.
Let's
Let's
just
just
make
create
him
one
one.
for him.
Look how mad he is.
Make
His
him
arms
one.
folded.
Come on over here.
I'm going to announce, here's Chris McGinnis.
We're going to get him an Instagram
Yes.
page.
All right.
What
and
should
we're
the
gonna get him
handle be?
5,000 followers today, I guarantee it.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a good question. What should Rod's handle be?
What should my handle be?
What should it be?
Up the hill?
You know what?
What?
Let us know.
I am going to go to the Weather Center for 5 minutes. I'm going to put brand new numbers in the 7-day, and then we'll have that since we've updated that, but I have to get the graphic updated because the graphic will soon be out on YouTube. And then and I'm going to grab myself a cup of
Live
coffee.
in infamy.
Yes, I'll be back.
are
at
you-
5.
Numbers better.
Will you bring me extra coffee? Would
Do you want
mind?
me to fill up your coffee?
Will you go to
just-
Starbucks for us, actually?
Oh, I like
close.
that.
Yeah.
Will you do traffic while we have
Maybe.
this discussion?
Oh, will I get in on the Starbucks action then?
Yeah.
Okay, as long as that's promised.
Thanks,
so
Rod.
we had a couple of questions about the Highway 30 drive, and I can tell you that road looks like, at least, and it gets up pretty high.
Yeah.
600 feet or so west of Rainier.
that high?
There are a couple of high spots. The Rainier Hill, just west of Rainier, up to about 500 feet. The Bradley Wayside's up to about 650 feet. So yeah, Highway 30 actually has some high passes on it. Right now, you're looking at one of our cameras. This is a trip check camera at the Sunset Rest area at 1,400 feet, and it's 28 degrees, and there's one lone automobile making that trek through the Coast Range on Highway 26. That's a winter wonderland. All right, let's get back up to Highway 30. We mentioned, again, Highway 30 looks like it's down to bare pavement near the Rainier Summit. Temperature at 32 degrees, so it's, in some cases, you're okay, but maybe not great. Let's go down to Oregon 6, again, the road to Tillamook, and you can see that's maybe in a little worse shape at 30 degrees or so, just shy of 600 feet. Certainly some snow covers there. And 20, the road between Corvallis and Newport. It's still snowing pretty good there, but the temperature, at least the road indicating that we're okay, and the temperature at 33. I wanted to get back into the Coast Range. We've got a closure on Highway which highway is this? This is 202, excuse me. Just east of the Jewel area, we've got down power lines, and ODOT reporting that Highway 202 right now is closed between Jewel and Mist because of those down power lines. The Coast Range obviously getting hammered. A live picture from the coast up near the Astoria column, and this is beautiful. That's just, speaking of really good sled hills, if you've ever been up to the Astoria column, that is a nice little dip from the column down along the hills of Astoria. You got a good 200, 300, 400 foot drop there and lots of room to run that out. So no doubt folks are enjoying that. We had another question from, I believe, Brina asking about what 213 looks like. Well, let's bring it back into the metro area because we've got varying conditions. It looks like the breeze is starting to pick up a little bit. And you're looking right now at 82nd Avenue, aka 213. Near Killingsworth. So this is getting up near the airport. This is a really bad spot earlier in the week when we had the snow overnight Monday into Tuesday, and you can see there it still looks like there's a little snow and ice on the road there. So that could be a little slick, and look at the breeze shaking the tree around. So that east wind really starting to kick in. Airport temperature looks like it's up to 34, but we still have a little melting to do on that side. And I wasn't sure if Brina was checking in a little farther south on 213, wanting to know what that looks like. So I wanted to go down towards Beaver Creek Road. This is down in Clackamas County, at the intersection of Beaver Creek and 213. And you can see we've got bare pavement there. So in pretty good shape, really varying across the area. Conditions on the east side of town worse than they are, I think, in many other folks that are watching us right now on our Facebook stream. So that's the latest from the traffic department. Ladies, I could just walk on over here. Is my coffee back yet?
No, Rod's not back.
Yeah,
He's
Rod's a
updating
little
the
slow today.
forecast. Exactly. I've just requested from our newsroom to see if we can get some people on the line to get some more information about ODOT and the roads, PBOT. We had some power outages with PGE, especially in Clackamas County, like what the latest numbers are there. I have so many questions.
Yeah, you know what, and this is a really, I love the description that I just heard in my ear because it seems like an oxymoron, but we're going to check out some video now of the highlights, the worst of the worst, like the best of the worst. So basically the big problems that we've seen.
Well, that's clearly live, right?
Throughout our roadways today. No, this is clips that Sky 8 shot earlier today. That was a kind of a victorious moment when that car got moving once again. I think that was during Keeley's shot there.
God bless the people who get
and that
out
man
of their
is wearing
cars.
shorts. That man is wearing shorts.
And I might add, that's an all-wheel drive car that is just spinning around in the snow there. So.
Sir, if anyone knows that guy who was wearing shorts and pushing the car out of the ditch, give him a high five for me.
It's not that cold out there.
This was a rough one. The cattle truck, two of them that just got stuck on I-205 northbound.
Just north of 84.
Yeah, and then that's the way to go.
Yeah,
Max to the airport has been rocking it. That is really the way to get there. For a long time, Airport Way was blocked and you couldn't get, to your flight.
The ramp, 205 Airport Way, that northbound ramp was closed for a good hour and a half at least this morning.
Glen Jackson Bridge.
More spin outs there northbound.
Those big rigs have been having trouble. And
well,
this was the poor driver who stopped to put on his chains, remember?
As soon as those trucks have to slow, that tail end can just sort of whip around, and that's, that is recipe for the beginnings of a jackknife. Luckily, it looks like they weren't going fast enough to have that happen.
Well, especially if they're not carrying any cargo and they have an empty trailer.
And then this one, probably
the
most newsworthy of our footage this morning.
This will be the memorable one for sure.
Yeah, we're still really hoping to talk to the driver of that car that was pinned in for a few hours by that Love's fuel truck.
Precisely. On
the ramp from I-5 south to eastbound 84. And you can see there were other tanker trucks that looked like they were, sliding a little bit on that ramp.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're checking out Sky 8's live vantage point now. And when I say now, I mean right now. There it is.
Still there.
There's that Love's Fuel tanker truck. Once again, this is on I-5 southbound, getting onto I-84 eastbound. Oh, man.
So that's been closed since at least 6:30, maybe more. So we're talking about a 5-hour plus closure of that ramp from I-5
6
south.
hours. I mean, that's
eastbound 84. Yeah.
Incredible.
They still got some work to do to get that thing. And did we ever hear if there was any fuel in that truck or not?
No. We asked. ODOT, our ODOT rep.
No spillage,
and basically said,
so that's good. At least we don't have to clean that up.
They can tell there's a lot, but they have no idea, and obviously that's not their priority at this point. I mean, we watched tow trucks pull up to the front of that truck, then tow trucks come up the ramp and pull up to the back of it.
No apparent injuries with that crash.
That we've heard of.
That was amazing.
We heard of a few minor ones according to Beaverton police, right? That there have been a couple of very minor injuries. But beyond that, guys, this has been an injury-free day as far as we know at this moment. Given what we've seen so far, thank goodness. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
And to the folks watching in the valley down in Salem, Corvallis, and Albany, they're like, well, of course there's no injuries because there's no snow on the ground.
Yeah.
And that's down in the valley. This storm has been really amazing for how it has broken down literally neighborhood by neighborhood into who got the snow, who got the ice. Because remember, we had a period of rain last night, too, before the snow, and then a quick hard freeze. And that was kind of what I experienced in my neighborhood, is that even though there wasn't a lot of snow on the ground, the road, I thought, was worse this morning with less snow than it was Tuesday morning with snow.
Yeah. You know, we haven't talked about the Portland airport for a while. Earlier today, we heard 9 flights from PDX up to Seattle canceled. I have not checked the latest numbers, but I'd be curious to see what those are.
Yeah, definitely.
Go check out the Twitter feed from Fly PDX. See how they're doing
on YouTube. No, but honestly, there were icy conditions around the airport. I mean, we saw that bus, that big black passenger bus. It was like a charter.
Yep.
That was stuck on the airport way ramp, and that blocked people for a while. I mean, that was adding like a half-hour plus.
Do you
onto
have
people's
that
rides to the airport?
Sorry, Maggie, I didn't mean to step on you. Do you have
Ow, just kidding.
verbally?
Yeah.
Do you have the paper with all the cancellations? Because so many kids and families have school districts with weekend events, and pretty much most of them have been canceled.
Totally. So here's some of those are the canceled flights at PDX. So check out that list right there, Fly PDX. And also, guys, I should note, I've said this, Fly PDX has been pretty active on Twitter this morning. So if you at them and then kind of ask your question, there's a good chance, not knowing, saying this, how much of a workload they have at this moment, that they can get back to you. But yeah, we were talking about cancellations just across the area. Centennial School District, Gresham Barlow School District, Park Rose, all your activities today and tomorrow at this point canceled. Banks School District in Washington County. I'm just reading off kind of random ones. Beaverton School District, Hillsborough, Sherwood, Tigard, Tualatin. Again, all weekend activities canceled at this point. And it's just kind of, spreading out across the area. Nobody wants to take a chance.
No, and you shouldn't.
And that's smart. I mean, so that's, to be expected. So just, if you're not seeing it, we have had a crawl going throughout most of the morning. Check on our website as well. We've been tracking those. And the big one, what else was postponed? Michelle Obama.
That's right. She was here on her book tour, Becoming.
Yeah.
We're just becoming snowy. That's a hit.
Your weekend plans were becoming nothing because you had that. We actually, I'm going to out him. Mike Benner's wife was going to be going to that and staying in town and having like a little fun girls' night, and Mike was going to babysit, and now that's not happening.
All right. Well, let's. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
She's going to come back, though. It's not canceled altogether. It's just
that's postponed until I think mid-March.
Okay. Let's show you. Do we have some new numbers, guys, on outages? Chris, you're closer to the monitor. Just over 1,500 we're hearing.
So some are coming back
County.
On.
Yeah, because it was 2,000
at some point. It was 2,000 in Clackamas County alone.
Washington, Polk County.
A little over 100 in Multnomah County.
Interesting that there's some power outages in Polk County. I got to think that that's going to be in the western areas towards the Coast Range in Polk County as opposed to on the Salem side.
Okay.
Obviously, we've got some hills down there.
It was interesting. We asked why, and the PGE rep basically told us mostly automobile accidents, car accidents that have knocked out power. We're not talking about down tree limbs or just like ice piling up on lines at this point.
With one exception that I did hear, again, back to the Coast Range, Highway 202 between Jewel and Mist. That's closed. ODOT reporting down power lines. I'm not sure how many, but down lines. And obviously the Coast Range, as we've seen some of those cameras, got pounded with snow. So if you're thinking about driving to or from the beach, just know that the higher passes, especially Highway 26, is a absolute winter wonderland right now.
And I should mention, if you guys haven't done it yet, please do download our new weather app. I mean, it's got weather for your exact location, and it's kind of an hour by hour thing along with the current forecast. So that is definitely something that you'll want to check out. It's free in the App Store.
Right. So we've been tracking a lot of conditions across the area, obviously. Jessica, producer, do we know where I think we're headed back up to Sky 8 at this point to get a view. Oh my gosh. Honestly, the situation is just ongoing. We've had Pat Doris there on the ground throughout the day watching it. And once again, though, this is the I-5 southbound ramp onto I-84 East.
So look at this.
More of the same.
The yellow fuel truck and then that little red truck there. We want to show you some video of the man in that red truck just smashed against the side of the guardrail. This was miraculous. I just was so happy when I saw this, and I think everybody collectively watching this were holding their breath as Portland Fire gets up on the rail there. They're talking to the driver, and then he emerges. He emerges unscathed. Whew. I mean, he was stuck there for quite some time before they arrived on scene, and he was able to walk out under his own power. And that is a narrow little ledge. He must be the most thankful man in the area today.
I loved Kathleen Knowlton Howell's suggestion here. How about enough of the tow trucks? Just bring in a cat like one of those, cat things. So just lift it up and move it. maybe we can call Caterpillar up and get them in there with some equipment with the tow trucks in tandem and get that thing moving.
Yeah,
All right,
I think that's a
Mr.
great
Hill.
idea. Oh, you're standing next to me.
Yes, hi, dear.
Hi there.
An updated forecast.
I did. Well, actually, we're going to do that. Are we going to stream our cut-in on that we're doing live? So we're going to be on KGW TV, YouTube, Facebook, and all those other platforms at the same time, coming
When is
up in
that
about a
going to
minute.
be? In a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be huge.
Nobody's told me that yet, so
Rod's here to deliver the news. Quite literally.
there you go. Come in, producer Paul, executive
Here comes producer Paul.
boss. I don't even know.
Yes,
what
sir.
the
Boss
deal
man.
is.
Oh, hi. Is your IFB working? Because we're not sure that they can.
You know what? My battery might be dead.
All right, let me get you a new battery.
We've been
Okay.
talking so long.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's turned up, but
producers
I'm not
talk to
hearing.
me in my ear if we're going to go live on the air.
Yeah, it's dead.
When is that
Celeste
going to
still
happen?
putting it-
And
Celeste is still putting it together.
Yeah, if you guys are streaming, they're getting a very intimate inside look as to how this.
Katie
is
Wilson
together.
asking,
that
do
what
we
you
know
watch?
if the tanker is full or empty? Did we ever
We
get
don't.
that answer?
ODOT
We
says they
don't
believe
know.
there's a lot of fuel inside
But they
that
don't know
tanker,
how
but we
much.
don't know.
But
Yeah.
clearly what we are aware of by looking at that is that there has been no leakage, no spillage. So
Not that we can
that's-
see.
Yeah.
So,
that's
Rod,
good
can
news.
you just update us on the forecast? We will break away and do our live TV
Yeah.
stuff, but I'm told right now they're trying to figure it out, so we
Okay.
don't have a hard in time.
Yes. So anyway, it still looks like, as you look at radar, I do want to point this out. Right now, see where the snow bands are on the west side of I-5? So the storm itself is spinning offshore and dropping south. But, you know, this morning, the roadmap has been, there's been more active weather, snow-wise, excuse me, I think I misspoke, west of I-5, not as much action east of I-5. And maybe that continues this afternoon. The Weather Service may not lift the storm warnings and snow advisories until this evening because we do have this continued threat of seeing, you know, some accumulating snow. I mean, this band has been very slow moving. That's now working outside of Hillsborough up across the Sunset Highway as that pushes to the north. The coast is quieted down, generally speaking, and warmed up. There's Newport at 36 degrees. Here's our live camera out in the Dalles where I-84 has been as snow covered as Mount Hood highways. I-84, very difficult driving, completely snow covered. And you can see that very cold temperature in the East Gorge from the Oregon Veterans Home and in the Dalles of 27 degrees. Downtown Portland, meanwhile, keeps warming up. My forecast high today was 34, and that's right where we are at right now. So 2 degrees above freezing goes a long ways in a hurry to break up some of the ice around town. Temperatures are a varied mix between low and mid 30s, generally speaking, over Portland. But you get down to the Mid-Valley, look at Kaiser. Kaiser, you go, baby, go. Up to 40 right now. Salem, 39. Clearly, that is melting away any spots that may have been a little dicey. So, you know, the dusting to 3 inches of snow, if you get caught in one of those snow bands, so far most of those have been on the west side of I-5, and that may continue to be the case. Tonight we get down into the 20s. You folks out east are seeing temperatures right now above freezing in some locations, such as John Day. And here's our 7-day. Tomorrow starts off quiet, increasing snow during the afternoon hours. If we're not above 32 in the evening, we could have a period of sleet and freezing rain. Monday looks to be predominantly rain that goes into a developing potential mix again on Tuesday. Wednesday still looks to be pretty quiet, and Thursday morning looks to be pretty quiet before rain returns on Thursday. You know, next weekend looks kind of quiet too, actually.
Okay. Well, a lot of changes.
We'll fix that.
We got time to mess that up between now and then.
Oh man, do we
Winter
ever?
fatigue,
Okay, well, hey.
hashtag.
Oh, seriously, already. So, well, speaking of time, guys, we are, as we said, getting ready, and as producer Paul came in to tell us, about to go on the air on KGW and do a cut-in. So we're going to leave you with some Skycam and Sky 8 footage, and we will be coming back on air here within about the next 10 minutes or so. So we'll see you soon.
I'm not traffic. Chris is traffic. Vanessa, just say Vanessa. I'll go back there.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton.
And I'm Maggie Vespa. Hey, we have been following our crazy winter storm coverage all morning long, and this has been the highlight. If you guys didn't see this live, this happened around 8:30 this morning. Portland Fire coming up to that maroon SUV that was pinned on the I-5 South overpass onto 84. They freed the driver who was pinned inside for hours. And this is some of the other crazy traffic.
And they said this is the vehicle that got pinned.
Oh, wow.
We're hearing this for the first time as you're hearing it, and we're telling you. Producers, tell me, how the heck did we get this? Whose video was that?
You know, that
or
was
live
picture. That was
Pat
Doris's live picture.
Okay, that's what we want to get to. Pat Doris has been right there the entire time
Look
on
at how
MLK,
squashed that is.
looking at everything as it unfolds. Walk us through what's happening.
Well, guys, you're looking at the maroon SUV that was crushed by the fuel truck on the flyover ramp from I-5 South to I-84 East. It just seconds ago was able to drive off the over ramp and down onto this parking area there. It's really remarkable to see up close, and I'm not chuckling because it's funny. I mean, it's incredible. The roof is partly caved in, the back window is blown out, and so now it's clear that we can see it up close. Why it took so long for people to arrive and for the fire crews to check on the driver to see if he's okay. From our vantage point here, it looked like he was just sort of wedged against the side barrier, but clearly there was a lot more weight on that than we could tell. If we spin back now across MLK, you can see things still not clear on the I-5 to I-84. That big fuel truck, Love's, has been there since about before 6:30 this morning, so going on 5 hours now. There was a long line of cars that were trapped behind it for at least a couple of hours. They are thankfully gone on their way, but crews still have not resolved the issue on how to get that thing off of that over ramp, over flyover, and how to get it open up again. Guys?
So, Pat, does that mean, though, I mean, how do you know that SUV get free? Did they tow the tanker a little ways away from it, or how did that happen?
No, the tanker hasn't really moved. You know, and from our vantage point, it was difficult to tell. We could just see all of a sudden, oh my gosh, look at that. The SUV is moving. So he may have been able to just drive it forward. You know, the large semi tow truck is on the back of it. And so it wouldn't surprise me if they were able to sort of pick up the back end and put it over a little bit and then pick it up and put it over a little bit more just to take the pressure, the sideways pressure off of the SUV and let them drive out of there, because obviously it could drive. We saw it come down here on its own power.
Okay, I'm just going to throw this out here, and I understand if you have no idea what the answer to the question is, but did the driver who escaped drive his own SUV out of there? Did you see anybody, or is that somebody else, like an emergency responder, or somebody else trying to get it off that overpass?
I think it was probably the owner. When they went by, I didn't see any, fluorescent vests or fluorescent coat in the driver's seat, so I don't know for sure, but I can tell you if that was my SUV and I'd been stuck up there for 5 hours and finally they said, okay, you're free, I'd have it limp down and then call a tow truck, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, Pat Doris, you've been keeping a close eye, to say the least, on this situation all morning, and we really appreciate that update. It's such a relief to see this slowly but surely getting resolved.
Yes, but still a long way to go for those people who want to use that particular ramp. Okay, we want to welcome you to our KGW coverage. We went on the air this morning at 6 a.m. and we have gone all the way up to 10:30 live on the air. Then we were doing things on Facebook and YouTube, all our digital platforms. Yeah. And, as things continue throughout the afternoon, we're going to dip in live on the air and update you to all the important things that you need to know about in the city and beyond.
Yeah, but check it on Facebook and on YouTube and at KGW.com, and download our weather app for those updates and alerts, because, man, our weather team has been on this like you wouldn't believe. They've been fantastic this week.
And Rod Hill is here in studio with us, our meteorologist this morning. I know you've been back in the Weather Center and you have some new information about that 7-day forecast and also what's going to happen tonight.
Yes, let's take people through this. I know right now, by the numbers, the majority of you don't have much going on. Many of you have barely had a dusting of snow, but on the east side of I-5, we get into a lot of areas where they picked up 4, 5, 6 inches of snow, 10 inches of snow in some of the hills of Clark County, Prune Hill, for example. So it really depends. Some areas got hit harder than we thought. Other areas kind of missed out. But we do know this. So far today, there's a low offshore. These snow bands are pushing from south to north and then rotating back up over the coast. So this shows more snow in Astoria, where they have solid coverage up around the Astoria column right now. It's been snowing, probably accumulating a couple inches in this band, now pushing back into the coast range itself. It had dumped some snow in places like Forest Grove. So if this pattern doesn't change, the heightened chance of more snow accumulation for the remainder of today would actually stay west of I-5, with not as great of a chance for those of you that live on the east side of I-5. There's Hillsboro starting to dry out after getting a little bit of snow. Live shot down in Newport, 36 degrees. We do have some nice warming temperatures in many spots. The Columbia River Gorge under a winter storm warning at this hour. Look at the temperature out in the Dalles from the Oregon Veterans Home, 27 degrees. I-84 through the gorge is completely snow covered. It looks like a highway up over Mount Hood, so FYI on that. Downtown Portland, traffic moving slowly over kind of glazed over highways. It looks like a lot of that sheen is probably from de-icing materials. 34 degrees is the temperature at the airport, which is my forecast high. I don't think we'll get much warmer than that throughout the day. And now for the first time, really, we have as many, if not more, areas reporting above freezing temperatures than not. So that certainly helps. Tigard right there at 34 degrees. Salem never got down to freezing this morning as far as I am aware. 39 right now, 40 degrees in Kaiser, so that's been warmer. Don't forget the storm warning doesn't really expire until this evening. Just keep an eye for a darkening cloud that could bring a snow band into your area. We start off quiet tomorrow, and then tomorrow afternoon more light snow. There's the chance of some freezing rain or sleet depending on the temperature tomorrow evening. Monday looks to be primarily rain. And then Tuesday could be more of a rain-snow mix developing again. That is your weather update for now. Here's Maggie and Brenda.
All right, Rob, we so appreciate that weather update. Thank you so much. So, hey, everybody, we appreciate you being with us here on air, online, throughout what has felt like a very long morning. But it's been great. We've gotten so much info from our viewers. So we're going to check back on the digital platforms, KGW.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of that. And we will be back here on the air definitely at 4 o'clock this afternoon to bring you updates as to how this weather is shaping up. In the meantime, we are going to sign off here on KGW and leave you with this gorgeous snow-covered shot from our sky camera in Astoria. Have a great day.
We're back. Thanks to all of you who've been streaming us this morning with all of our coverage. We just want to kind of do a little round robin and show some viewer picks and kind of button up everything that we've done this morning and kind of what you can expect in the afternoon.
And say thank you one more time for sending all of these viewer photos. We have a few of our faves that have been coming in here in the last couple of hours. I think if we can pull those up. There's one from Ryan. Ryan sending this in with the all-important hashtag KGW weather. The adults had fun building a household favorite character, Olaf from Frozen. That's so good. Oh my gosh, you guys did a great job. Thank you for sending that in.
Let's see who's next. Jeff, he says Sparty's first snow and he loves it. What a cutie.
Oh my goodness.
Look, he's just ice covered and snow covered, so fluffy.
Yeah, adorable. And again, using the hashtags KGW weather and I am up PDX. One last one, a video from Paula. Looks like you're out on the coast.
Yeah, that's
quite
cool.
Possibly, and that is a gorgeous shot. Paula, thank you for sending that in so much.
And
one
we
last
can't
one.
get enough. Yeah, 5 inches of new snow in Maupin. Hey, all of our viewers watching in Central Oregon, that would be the place to be, wouldn't it? I love it.
I love our
That is
ODOT reps. Well, I can tell you exactly
relaxation.
what Bend is like because I'm here. Thank you. Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, so next newscast is coming up at 4 o'clock.
4 p.m.
Right?
Yeah.
What else do we need to know? You're going to be back tomorrow.
I will be back tomorrow. I'll be one of those poor sad souls out in the winter weather coverage, braving the elements. Our crews were phenomenal.
Yeah, they
today.
were. Keely Chalmers, Pat Doris, Christine Pitawanich.
They rocked it. They rocked it. So we're going to be bringing you updates throughout the day on all the situations that unfolded, including that situation on the I-5 South ramp onto I-84. This is a live look at it right here. That tanker truck is still there, but the maroon SUV, that has driven away.
Yeah, and apparently the driver is well enough that not only did he get out under his own power, we do believe it was him that drove his car off that overpass. So
hey, once again, y'all, if you know who that is, let us know.
all that. Yeah, definitely. We would love to talk to him. All right, Maggie.
All right,
Shall
Brenda,
we call it a day?
I think
it's been
so,
a
my
pleasure
friend.
anchoring with you.
Absolutely. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us. If you watch on digital, you get a little bit of a behind-the-scenes view
of how wacky we get.
We're insane. Thank you so much for being here. Stay safe, everyone. Stay home if you can. If you have to go out, drive as slow and as safely as possible. Have a great Saturday.
See you soon.